Okay, this is my first car story. I'm gonna read it because I don't have it memorized. I didn't realize I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it on video, but okay. So I was about 15 years old when I got my first car. I was living in a small town in Twin Falls, Idaho at the time. Had about 500 bucks to my name. So my options were somewhat limited. My dad, who was a real estate agent at the time, had been on some farmer's property and seen some old International Scout parked out on the farm. By the looks of the 1973 International Scout, it hadn't moved in several years. The Scout was gold in color with some primer on some of the doors, and some of the quarter panels were rusted out. I believe the roof was white. The Scout was built of steel, as was custom for vehicles of that time period. It was as sturdy and as heavy as a tank. The farmer who owned the Scout just wanted to get rid of it, so he told my dad he'd take it 450 bucks to get it off his hands, which just happened to be within my price range. I had passed my driver's education class and had my driver's permit. I was so excited, and I was about to purchase my first car. My street cred was about to go through the roof. So my dad and I went to the farmer's field and paid the man 450 bucks. My dad told me he would drive ahead and I'd follow behind him in the Scout. As I'm driving down Poline Avenue in my new Scout, the Scout's a loud vehicle. You can really feel the V8 engine underneath your feet as you drive it. You can hear every bit of it. I see a red stop sign ahead of me at the upcoming intersection. I begin to slow down, but now that I think about it, I may not have slowed so gracefully. The stopping action causes the battery to fall forward onto the fan blade. I hear a big loud noise underneath my hood. It did not sound good. After lifting the heavy hood, I can see the battery laying there eviscerated by the fan blades, like a dead body. My enthusiasm suddenly turns to dread. My new car is no longer even drivable. We have to leave it on the side of the road like roadkill. 3 days later, my dad and I returned to the crime scene. The carcass of the old Scout was laying lifeless on the side of the road still. We hooked up a tow rope and we towed into a mechanic. Turns out there was no strap over the battery. Fortunately, I think it only cost a few $100 to get it up and running again. From there on, that Scout never did me wrong. I kept it for a few years, and then I sold it to one of my good friends. He had the Scout up in northern Idaho. Last I heard, it got buried under a heavy snow and was never seen again. Sometimes I wonder of its whereabouts. The end.